Tom Cotton, he's a member of the Senate Intel Committee and the Old Guard at Arlington National Cemetery. Good morning to you, Senator.
Hey, Steve. Good to be on with y'all.
It's great to have you. I know you were down campaigning for the twin Republicans running for the Senate down in Georgia, Perdue and Loeffler. We'll get to that in a second, but tell us a little bit about where we are right now, because we saw Rudy Giuliani at that marathon contentious press conference yesterday. He made a lot of allegations, and a lot of people are going, I wonder if there's anything to that, or is there?
Yeah, Steve, I think where we are is to the point that we need the evidence to be adduced in court. Rudy Giuliani and the president's lawyers have multiple lawsuits filed around the country. We're to the point, though, where this is time not for politicians or for press conferences. That was during the election. This is the time for evidence in court. So you still have some recounts going on, as we heard in Wisconsin, potentially another recount in Georgia, but this will really be decided in the end on the law and the facts.
So Georgia is very important in January. The Republican Senate majority is on the line. I know you were there. Tell us what your predictions are for those two races.
Yeah, this is an election that's gone in overtime with David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler running against Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock for all the stakes. The control of the Senate is on the line in Georgia. If Chuck Schumer gets his way, if he gets the Senate majority, as we heard on the streets of New York just a couple weekends ago from him, that he plans to change America. I can tell you, having been in Georgia yesterday, that people there don't intend to let Chuck Schumer, quote unquote, take Georgia or to change America, because his kind of change means packing the court, raising your taxes, making Washington, D.C. a state, taking away your health insurance on the job, taking away your gun, giving amnesty to illegal immigrants.
Senator, I know
that's not what the people of Georgia want, and that's
right.
not what they're going to allow.
And the fact that you and Marco Rubio have already been there and the vice president's going there shows that the Republicans understand what's at stake. But the one thing that Senator Lindsey Graham told us yesterday that has to change is this new thing where one person has a chance to judge the signature check for mail-in balloting or these absentee ballots that I guess have to be requested for. Someone's got to change that, because that one person no one knows anything about, but you can't match signatures because they threw out the envelopes. So that Stacey Abrams group has gotten in there, and they haven't broken the law, but it's time for people to balance out what's taking place there.
Brian, I think there needs to be more authentication of those signatures on absentee ballots.
How do you get 600,000? How do you get 600,000 applications already?
Well, both sides are encouraging voters, if they're worried about their health, to vote by absentee ballot. Absentee ballots have long been used in Georgia and other states. What there has to be is bipartisan authentication of signatures.
Yes.
And if there's any question at all, those signatures and ballots have to be set aside so you can actually give redress, so you can make sure that if a signature doesn't match, that ballot hasn't been thrown in the hopper and can no longer be traced back to its signature. That needs to be done in Georgia during this runoff. It wasn't done effectively enough in the election on November 3rd.
Right. A story earlier this week, Senator, was the fact that Arlington National Cemetery decided that because of coronavirus, they were going to cancel wreaths across America. A couple hours later, news trickled out. The president asked the Secretary of Defense or Army to change things. Next thing you know, it's back on. I know you were part of the Old Guard at Arlington. Explain for folks how important this is.
Well, Wreaths Across America is a great tradition. It started out with the company just providing excess wreaths to put on grave sites, and now they provide wreaths for every single grave in Arlington. Of course, we all are concerned about the coronavirus pandemic, and we want to be safe and responsible. I know there's a way to do that in Arlington. I'm glad that the Army leadership reconsidered. I'd spoken to the Secretary of the Army and the Chief of Staff of the Army to ask them to do just that. And as an old platoon sergeant of mine used to say, it's only a mistake if you don't fix it in time. And I'm glad the Army fixed it, and I'm glad that families can participate in Wreaths Across America and that we can honor our fallen heroes in Arlington this Christmas.
Great. Ainsley?
So I know you gave a speech on the Senate floor about the Mayflower and Pilgrims, and Ilhan Omar, she tweeted out, she was critical of that. New York Times, this was their headline, "The Thanksgiving myth gets deeper." Could we roll that back so I could read it? Okay, well, that was the New York Times. Let's see, gets a deeper look this year. And then Ilhan Omar, her tweet, "When your sense of history doesn't go beyond your third grade coloring books and actual history terrifies you." What's your reaction?
Well, Ainsley, tomorrow is the 400th anniversary of the Mayflower Compact and the Pilgrims Landing in Massachusetts. I think we should be celebrating that. We should be proud of our history. They wrote the first Constitution, and they established the principles that we still hold so dear, like religious freedom, or the rule of law, or the natural equality of all mankind. That's the actual facts. That's the genuine history. You would think Ilhan Omar, who herself sought refuge in the United States, would be proud of this great land, just like the Pilgrims were, but maybe not. In any case, I wish her a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we got a Fox Nation special. Keep in mind, Senator, we have a Fox Nation special on the history of Thanksgiving, and they found a story in 1815 about the Mayflower, about what happened in 1620. And it's just a remarkable story of Native Americans, American Indians coming together, able to save the lives of these pilgrims that came across through perilous times for religious freedom. What's wrong with that story?
Yeah, Brian, nothing's wrong with that story. You know, Daniel Webster, the great statesman from Massachusetts, referred to the Pilgrims on the 200th anniversary of this occasion as our Pilgrim Fathers. I think the Pilgrims of 1620 deserve to be in the American pantheon along with the Patriots of 1776 as the founders of this nation. We ought to be celebrating their anniversary tomorrow.
All right. Senator Tom Cotton joining us from the D.C. area. Senator, thank you very much, and have a great holiday week next week.